Have you checked your crypto lately? I mean, it is absolutely bottoming out right now. As of Friday morning, it's hovering just over 60,000. At the end of January, it was at 80K. At the end of October, it was at an all-time high of $127,000. I mean, it has lost half of its value in just a couple of months. And that is shocking. And I'm going to tell you exactly why Trump is behind most of it. I'm Josh, filling in for the David Pakman Show. You can catch me on Ring of Fire doing content on the weekends, youtube.com/the Ring of Fire. And we have to ask, why is crypto crashing out right now? And there's a lot that goes into the market of crypto. Gold, silver, all of that plays a role. But a lot of the issue stems directly from the Trump administration. And there's four things at play here. First of all, geopolitical instability has a lot to do with the markets overall. It is extremely hard to convince investors that we are in a stable world market right now. When you have someone like Trump alienating every ally out there, talking tough on Europe, on China, on Russia, we have no friends. That's not good for the economy. And especially since we're always a Truth Social rant away from ramping up military tensions somewhere along the globe. That instability also comes from the will he or won't he tariffs, the taco plan, the Trump always chickens out philosophy. Threatening a tariff, pulling it back, threatening it again. It leaves markets absolutely nervous. There's no way you can do business if you have no idea what doing business is going to cost. And of course, I've got to reiterate, the tariffs are largely paid by consumers. We know that over 90% of the tariffs are paid for by us, the consumers, the American consumers. That's not good for consumer confidence. And look, Trump is nowhere near a free market politician at all. This is an unstable man, an unstable leader that insists on meddling in the market. It's just a recipe for disaster. And we're just now finding out yesterday, job growth. Job growth is having a ton to do with this. The worst January since 2009. And this is something I'm going to cover in just a few minutes in the next topic. But layoffs are surging. So markets are panicking. And now Trump is pushing for Kevin Warsh to succeed Jerome Powell. And we've seen the Jerome Powell videos and Trump making comments about him. He's tapping Kevin Warsh now to replace Jerome Powell as the Fed chair. And look, Warsh is known as overall pretty crypto friendly. But in practice, he's extremely pragmatic when it comes to monetary policy. He wants a tighter grip, just like Donald Trump does. And that is diametrically opposed to the philosophy of most crypto investors. They want the wild, wild west. They want a pure free market. So because crypto has a smaller market cap and it's a tinier piece of the overall market, it's more volatile and it's more susceptible to the changes that you're seeing with Donald Trump's instability, the changes at the Fed, the job reports, all of that are making crypto crash. But we're actually already starting to see the overall market follow along. Crypto can be an indicator on how the overall market is going. And we're going to keep an eye on that over the weekend and see how things open up on Monday. But this is really surprising, especially since Trump, especially in this second term, has billed himself as the crypto president. He took office and signed a ton of crypto executive orders, deregulating crypto, rolling back SEC enforcements. He established a strategic reserve for Bitcoin. And of course, he launched his own crypto through World Liberty Financial that came with a $500 million investment from Abu Dhabi. As of last year, it's estimated that Trump and his businesses had as much as $11.6 billion in crypto holdings. and as much as 800 million in profits coming last year from crypto. And there's allegations from congressional leaders like Jamie Raskin that Trump is using crypto to hide shady deals that we haven't even heard of, and illegal deals with foreign countries and foreign investors. Look, Trump once told us that crypto can facilitate unlawful behavior. That's kind of his standpoint earlier in his political career, his first term. I guess he's right. I mean, Trump is now the one that's profiting off crypto, and he has allegations that he's using it improperly. He's using it to cover up for improper investments and improper deals with other countries. I'm telling you, he knows what he's doing when it comes to taking advantage of the crypto market. And look, the point is here, conservatives, and we saw it with the Cato Institute, and we see conservatives all across the board, they're starting to see Trump for what he really is. Highly unprincipled. He's extremely volatile. And he's ultimately only interested in himself. And none of that lines up with conservative free market thinking. Absolutely none of it. And when you have a president that's that volatile, that disinterested in doing things that improve the market and improve the economy, when you have someone like that leading your country, it does not help the markets at all. Trump was tabbed to be the economic president, the president that was supposed to grow the economy. So far, what we've seen is the economy doesn't respond to a madman running the country.
Appreciate you watching. Stick around for this next video, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you actually see our uploads. You can also catch the full podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.